And welcome back to another episode of the Believe in Jets podcast on the Believe Network, presented by FanDuel. I am your host, Jeremy Striano. Well, here it is, the first win of the season in the books for the 2026 New York Jets. Although the result doesn't matter, a win is a win. A 17-0 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll recap some of the highlights from the game against Pittsburgh. We'll also preview the preseason finale, the MetLife Bowl, this coming Friday against our neighbors, the New York Giants. A bit of a programming note to kick off this episode. Once the season is in full swing, once week one commences, this will be a bi-weekly podcast. So we're going to do 2 episodes a week, and this is how it'll work. So episode number 1 of the week will be on either a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, depending on my schedule. And that'll be recapping the game of the week, the game last weekend. Thursday through Saturday will be episode number 2 of that week, and we'll be previewing the upcoming game. The bye week, which is week 13, will be my birthday episode because my birthday is around. It's a little bit before that bye week there, that weekend. It'll be a special episode. It'll be a highs and lows of the season. We'll have a little bit of fun, maybe an interview. We'll see when we get there to the bye week. But we need to recap the Pittsburgh game. But before we do that, I wanted to start by saying that I know that this franchise is what it is, right? I'm a fan just like you. I've loved this team my entire life, and I know that this franchise is not perfect. They're far from perfect, right? One Super Bowl, last one coming in 1969, haven't been in the postseason in what feels like multiple decades. Excuse me. But I know where we stand. I know where we stand as an organization. I know that this team isn't perfect. This organization isn't perfect. Ownership isn't perfect, right? I'm a fan just like you. I am doing a job to just create some fun content for fellow Jet fans, sport fans, anyone that's just interested in learning anything about the New York Jets football organization. So I know where we stand. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but the least we can do is just have some fun, right? Who's to say this team can't go on a magical run? Who's to say that this team could do the opposite and earn the first pick in the draft in 2027? We don't know, right? It's our friend Herm Edwards who once said, you play to win the game. They just have to play the game, and we'll see. And we'll find out week 1 in Tennessee where we stand. Obviously, we can't determine everything in a week, but it'll be a good benchmark to see where this team stands. Where's the strength? Where's the weakness? How can we fix that? Can we be a threat later in the season? So we'll see what happens. Again, we're here to have some fun. We're here to recap. We're here to give some insight. We're here to have some fun, here to have a conversation with you guys. And again, if you guys have any questions that you would like me to address on a future Believe in Jets episode, please email me. It'll be my full name, Jeremy Striano. That's JeremyStriano@gmail.com. Put it in the subject line, and I'll get to it in a future episode. So let me know. Also, you can comment on Spotify or Apple, wherever we get podcasts. So again, those 2 episodes per week, and they'll be available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts if you're into audio. And if you're into video and seeing my mug on screen, subscribe to Believe in New York Sports YouTube channel. Well, here it is, folks. Win number 1. Again, I know it does not count. I know it's a game that means zilch. It's a game that means nothing. But to us, a win is a win, right? This is a win that felt great. Again, we'll get to it later, but it wasn't pretty. They got the job done. Everyone played their role. It wasn't perfect, but you know who was perfect? Geno Smith. Geno Smith, 7 for 7, 65 yards, including a 13-yard touchdown pass to Galani Woods. This is what we want to see, right? In a week like last week and the week prior, Geno was having this Jekyll and Hyde type of camp, right? One week it was going to be, oh man, Geno's clicking with Garrett. Geno's clicking with AD. Geno's clicking with Isaiah. He looks great. Then we get to the Tampa Bay combined practices and Geno's throwing 3 interceptions, right? One day it's, oh my God, Geno Smith, to, oh my God, Geno Smith. He needed this perfect performance, right? Missing the Tampa Bay game due to the ankle injury, day to day, nothing serious. He came back on Monday, started practicing, didn't look great, but in game play against the Steelers D, 7 for 7 and a touchdown, I will gladly take that any day of the week, right? Listen, again, we've preached on the show that this is a temporary situation, but it's a situation that I think a lot of fans will get behind. Having Geno as that bridge kind of gives you that security blanket for what's to come in the next year. And before we move on into the defensive side of uh, the performance against Pittsburgh, this is what winning feels like, people, right? We want a lot of victory Mondays this season, right? Every game's on a Sunday, so it has to be a victory Monday. This is what we can look forward to. This is what we strive for as fans. We want to go into work or go into school on that Monday and just show off that green and white paraphernalia and be like, see, we can win. We can play well. We can play great football. This is what it's going to be like, people. I really do believe in my medium goal. Remember, we set our easy, medium, and hard goal. I do believe this team can double their win total. It's going to come down to staying healthy and people outperforming one another. But if they can just pull off a win like this in a game where it actually counts, heck, sign me up, man. Sign me up. I want the Jets to play good football. They're a team that is capable of playing good football. They're a team that when they click, again, we just play in a hard division. We have a really hard schedule. All right. I know what awaits us in weeks 2 through 4. It's the 3 of the 4 NFC North teams that I know are better than the Jets on paper. I know that it's a gauntlet. I know that, like, oh man, I wish we were playing Minnesota because that's a team that I think that we can beat. Packers, Lions, Bears. Oh my. But hey, it all starts in week 1. It all starts in Tennessee. You get that momentum, you go 1-0, and anything can happen, right? Because I do fear that if this team does drop week 1, there's a great chance that this team drops to 0-4, maybe 1-3. Not ideal, especially with the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots in our division. But again, that's why football, it's 1 week at a time, right? You assess, you have a game plan, you address every game, every week, 1 week at a time. It's a feeling, the feeling of victory is one that we all miss, right? I feel like the last time we've kind of felt that like we can do anything mentality was 2015. And 2015 was a great year. And it was a year under Todd Bowles where this team was destined for postseason football. And then that dreaded week in Buffalo, the last week of the season happened. And a team that had a really fantastic season does not make the postseason. And we all go home with our heads held down. It's a feeling that we miss. And you might be asking yourself, Jeremy, why are you gassing up a preseason victory? It's because we haven't felt this way in a long time. And it's just a preview of what's to come when this team wants to put a good product on the field. A shutout. A 0. When's the last time the Jets shut, even in preseason, when's the last time the Jets shut out a team? I can't remember off the top of my head. I can remember when we've been shut out. But when's the last time the Jets defense put up a 0? Such a great sight to see. And again, it's what the future holds, man. If this team can just click, get the juice going, outperform, hey, we'll be all right. We will be all right. And speaking of the touchdown to Jelani Woods, again, tight end is a position for the New York Jets where I feel the safest. I think it's the position room where I am confident in any one of those names getting the majority of the reps from Geno Smith regarding the tight ends. Obviously, Garrett's the number one option. A.D. Mitchell's going to get a lot of touches. Isaiah Williams is going to get a lot of touches in the slot. And we hope that Omar Cooper gets active. But in terms of tight ends, I'm fine with any of the four. Definitely the top two, but like if Galani and Ruck want to just break out all of a sudden, all right, I'm here for it. Right? Obviously, tight end number one, barring his health, and hopefully he is healthy week one, like the reports are saying, Kenyan Sadiq will be tight end number one for week one against Tennessee if he is healthy. Right? There is a reason why you take a tight end with one of your first round picks in the last draft. We all know, if you're a college football fan, we all know the athlete and the freak that is Kenyan Sadiq. And we hope and we pray that he is healthy week one because he can be a sleeper. He's a guy that I wouldn't mind burning a 14th or a 15th round pick in your fantasy draft, right? If you're taking a big tight end like a Trey McBride, why not use your later pick on a Kenyan Sadiq? You know he's going to be healthy. You know that if he does pan out, this man does have a high ceiling. It's pretty high. I'm tempted to take Kenyan Sadiq in my draft. And then we all know what Mason Taylor is. We saw it last year in his rookie season. Again, it's any one of those guys. Anyone that gets that chance, I'm here for it. I'm here for anybody in that tight end room to break out. I think Geno's going to have a lot of trust in his tight ends, especially Sadiq, once he comes back. And I'm actually really happy that the touchdown did go to Jelani Woods. I thought Jelani Woods has been having a sneaky great camp. I think he's a player that's just going under the radar. Who's to say that Jelani Woods can't have a great camp? Who's to say Jelani Woods can't get some reps in the season? I think he will. He's been here. He's a pro. And I'm all for it. And speaking of that goose egg on defense, my oh my. I wish that David Bailey sack mattered. I wish that was a real stat in the regular season. Man, dropping Will Howard for 11, he looked great. That jump. We all know the threat he is. We all know what he's going to be. David Bailey looks great. This defense is just providing that front four. We talked about him last week with Tavondre coming back from injury. Man, again, my ideal front four is Bailey, Phillips, Sweat, McDonald. Man, it just looks great. It looks great on paper. We want to see it. But, anyone, even if it's Osai coming off the edge, I'm here for it, man. I am here for this defense. It's all about putting points on the board. That's going to be Geno's job. O-line needs to protect Geno, and the weapons need to find their way in. Because I really want to invest a lot of my time and passion into this defense. They look great. Speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to report we have had our first interception for the 2026 New York Jets. Now, I'm not going to check it off of our list here of our 3 goals that we issued in the beginning of the year, but it is a positive outlook, people. Again, the game doesn't matter. but it's from a guy that I called out last week on Believe in Jets. My fellow Syracuse Orangeman, Andre Cisco, comes up with the big interception. Listen, if this is going to be a trend where your name gets called out on a Believe in Jets episode and you just outperform, go right ahead. I'm going to start calling out everybody. I'll call out the entire 53-man roster once that gets finalized Sunday evening on the next episode of Believe in Jets. Because if that's the case, if that's the trend, if it's, my words to whoever's upstairs, go right ahead. I'll call out the entire team. But shout out to Andre Cisco. First interception of the year, again, in a game that doesn't matter, but it's momentum. It's how you move from there. It's how you use those moments to then lay it out on the line when you come week 1 against Tennessee. Is it going to be Andre Cisco? Maybe not. But again, those safeties we did call out, Dane Belton, Malachi Moore, Andre Cisco, like it's up for grabs at this point. I do think Cisco will get the start, but don't be surprised if apart from Minka's going to do his own thing. We all know who Minkah Fitzpatrick is. We all know that he's going to be the free safety for this team. God willing, he stays healthy. He's going to get the reps. We all know that. But the strong safety, that's going to be the revolving door of this defense, right? Now, you could say, it could be the edge or it could be the, D tackles, linebackers that are up in the air. I get that. But just keep an eye out for the safety room and how many times Duker will just use the revolving door, right? One play, one series, it's going to be Andre Cisco. The next one is going to be Dane Belton. Then you might throw out Malachi Moore. God willing, and I really hope he comes back, maybe you throw out VJ Payne. Who's to say a rookie who gets hurt in camp, now this is hoping, I think he will make the team, hoping he does. What if he just breaks out? What if he breaks out and he's starting next to Minkah Fitzpatrick once he's healthy? I'm here for it. I'm here for whoever can get the job done. I'm here for whoever can help this football organization win football games. And if it's VJ Payne at the end of the day, then I am in the house of pain. He who breaks the rules must go to the house of pain. Heck yeah. All in. So, as we move on, that's my little rant goes underway, a little passionate rant. I actually love that. That's going to be a future. If VJ Payne comes back and has like a big day, oh my God. I'll just run with House of Pain references and try to get jump around to play during the episode. But VJ Payne was an exciting pick. Had, I want to say like 4th, 5th round value, picked in the 7th round. Like VJ Payne was an early day 3 projected, maybe late day 2, and he falls all the way to 7. Now, okay, he is hurt, but get him back. Who's to say he can't be this diamond in the rough? It happens. We thought we found that with Mori Bamba. He goes down. What if he comes back and is a stud? What if he comes back and is just amazing? And he's just this missing link that gives the cornerback room some competition. Who's to say VJ Payne can't do that with the safeties? So with the revolving door of the safeties, we transitioned to the kicking competition update. So there were 2 attempts made in the preseason game against Pittsburgh. Cade York was 0 for 1 from 59. Jason Sanders, 1 from 1 from 39 yards. Honestly, if you ask me right now, I think this kicking position, whoever wins this kicking competition, I really do think it comes down to heads or tails. There are reports and people are saying, well, Cade has a stronger leg, but then Jason will do better on the day. So Cade is stronger, but Jason's more effective. It's honestly heads or tails for this kicking competition. So thought I'd give you an update as to where we stand. If I had to pick one right now, I will probably I'm probably going to say Sanders. But again, like we could be talking about week 1, previewing week 1, and it's going to be Cade York. I'm fine with either or, but let's just see how practice plays out. We'll see if these guys can improve on their game and earn some stats. And the kicking competition is still up for grabs. Shout out to Quincy Skinner, too. The second touchdown for the Jets, 31-yard Brady Cook. It was his only completion of the game. Brady Cook, he was 1 for 2 for 31. And it was a better day for Bailey Zappe. 6 of 8, 68. 6 of 8 from 68 yards. I know it was confusing reading it in my notes here. I was like, oh, wow, 6 of 8 for 68. Cool beans. No interceptions. So we had 2 from Zappe last week. No interceptions this week for Jet QBs. It's how you, again, it's just momentum, positives. How can you stack up on these positives? Again, I'm going to keep saying it, right? The Jets are 1-1 in the preseason. Oh, it's preseason. It's positive outlooks, people. It's positives. All we want is for our guys to do well. And a QB room had a stellar day. No interceptions. Thank God. We can move on and focus on what lies ahead for the New York Jets. And look, a win is a win. And it wasn't a pretty win. It wasn't a flashy win. But you'll take it. You'll take it any way you can get. Football is a sport where it doesn't matter how you win. It's just, did you win or not? There's a reason why. And again, we'll go back to this kicking competition here. There's a reason why a lot of football games come down to the last possession, right? Time of possession. Do you have the ball under 2 minutes left? Can you rely on a kicker to drill a game-winning field goal? Right? It's going to come down to, do the Jets trust Jason Sanders or Cade York more when the game is on the line? Because I do have a feeling that the Jets are going to, when it's winnable games for the Jets, it might come down to the last possession. It might come down to a game-winning field goal. It might come down to a Geno Smith 2-minute drill, and he's got to put Cade or Jason into a comfortable situation where you can drill a 30, 40, maybe 50-yarder to win the game. And you're praying to God that you're tied. So that if you do miss, there is a chance in overtime. But if you're down 1 or down 2, here it is, all or nothing. And spoiler, it's been nothing for a while. So this whole team has to click. All 53 players have to just find a way to win, find a way to get the job done. And that's what Aaron Glenn and Darren Nugent are trying to instill into this team. Right? Duker, the entire staff, they have to trust in their guys, right? So that's a future outlook for this team. It's going to be a lot of, did you win? Not how you won, did you win? I don't care, especially in football. I don't care how you win. Football is a sport where there's no goal differential. There's no, but did you win in regulation, overtime, or a shootout? Right? Football is win or loss. Are you 1-0? Are you 0-1? Now, you can tie. And it's very rare. There are ties. But did you win or did you lose? That's it. And for the Jets, we know we're not going to be flashy. We know we're not going to be pretty. Did you win or did you lose? That's it. That's the question, people. That's what we're striving for. Did you win or did you lose? And hopefully it's more wins than losses. Again, I know where we are. I'm not dumb. But can't you have a little bit of hope? Can you? Am I allowed to hope that this team can overperform? Who's to say? Let's have a little bit of hope, people. All right. Now, up next, the preseason finale. Giants Jets. The MetLife Bowl. This is the end all be all. Friday night, 7:30. 2 days later, the cuts will be made, the final cuts will be made, and we will get to a 53-man roster. What I'm looking for is a headline between the rookie and the vet. Cade Klubnik versus Jameis Winston. I would love this, right? Obviously, if this was in a regular season game, it would also be not a rookie anymore, Jackson Dart versus Geno Smith. Let's make it a little fun here, right? Let's have a little bit of Cade Klubnik. Let's play Cade for the majority of the game. Let's play Jameis for the majority of the game. And let's just have these two characters battle it out. Right? Again, it doesn't matter. But you know there's going to be bragging rights. We've seen Jets and Giant matchups. We've seen the emergence of Victor Cruz right before our eyes. The iconic moment from Hard Knocks where Rex Ryan and Tom Coughlin are talking about, man, who the hell is number 3? And it ends up being Victor Cruz. So we want a little bit of bragging rights to end the year. I know that the Jets are going to do whatever they can to win this one, right? It's a Jet home game, so that gives them a little bit more juice. There will be a majority, I would say majority green over blue, but you know the Giant fans are going to be there. You all know that Big Blue is going to be out. Big Blue against Gang Green. There's nothing better. It's bragging rights for my family, my friend group, right? Can the Jets beat the Giants? We'll see. Friday, 7:30, the MetLife Bowl gets underway. And then again, 2 days later, we will have our roster, the 53-man roster. It's a little scary. We've highlighted some names. I think 2 names to look out for, especially on the defensive side of the ball, Jordan Clark and VJ Payne. Jordan Clark, 4 solo tackles against the Steelers. And then VJ Payne, the rookie, 7th-round pick, Kansas State. Just 2 names that I think can be reliable options, whether if that's on defense or special teams, depending on where they can find a role. I think these are 2 young studs that you just got to keep an eye out for. And I'm always going to pull for Notre Dame guy in Jordan Clark. But Clark and Payne, those are my guys. Those are the guys I think I'm going to predict to sneak onto the roster, and they will end up on the 53-man roster. But we will see next week. Once the roster's out, we'll recap position by position. And here it comes. Right after this week, 2 weeks from now, game day. You can feel it. The energy is here. It's palpable. Jets, Titans. It's right around the corner, folks. I'm excited, and you should be too. Well, that is going to do it for this episode of Believe in Jets. So to recap, Jets win in Pittsburgh, 17-0 for preseason game number 2. On schedule is the MetLife Bowl this coming Friday. Giants, Jets, Jet home game. Should be fun. And then on Sunday, 6 p.m., the final roster is out. So this time next week, we will be recapping and looking at the 53-man roster for your New York Jets. Thank you all so much for watching, for listening. Remember, you can check out Believe in Jets wherever you get your podcasts for audio, Apple, Spotify, you name it. And again, if you want to watch on YouTube, subscribe to the Believe in New York Sports channel. For everyone at Believe in Jets, for Uncle Billy, I'm Jeremy Siriano saying good night. We'll see you all next week with our 53-man roster. Take flight, everybody. Go Jets.